Is this Earl?
This is Earl.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my-
Hi, Earl.
Earl's ears perked up as soon as I said his name.
You're our special guest this week. Yes, we love you.
Welcome to the Side Out Society podcast, your go-to place for the culture, stories, and community surrounding women's volleyball. I'm one of your hosts, Tiff Oshinsky.
And I'm Lindsay Harwood, your other host.
All right, Lindsay, I was at your wedding. It was absolutely gorgeous. But as you were leading up to the big day, how much was volleyball on your mind?
Oh, not a lot. It's always on my mind to beat my husband whenever we're peppering or playing in the pool. So that's probably the only way it was on my mind during wedding season. What about you?
I had, I think I was playing my women's fours adult league because I had players from my women's team come to my wedding. I had some of my old school club teammates at my wedding. One was in my wedding party, but she unfortunately couldn't make it because she was in med school, being awesome. But besides that, I think that was probably the only bit of volleyball that I had associated with my wedding. But you know, our guest today is actually somehow pulling off the ultimate double threat because she's currently planning her dream wedding for this May while simultaneously absolutely dominating in the professional ranks. And that's because she is a defensive architect who spent her collegiate years turning the University of Minnesota into a no-fly zone. A native of Kansas who became a legendary Golden Gopher, she was a three-time All-American and finished her college career with over 500 blocks, which is essentially like building a brick wall in the middle of a Big Ten match. She has carried that dominance straight into the professional ranks, and right now she is the Major League Volleyball leader in blocks and was recently named to her very first MLV All-Star team. She is the founder of the Tall Volleyball Academy and a dog mom to a very lucky pup named Earl. She's a fiber artist phenom, a premier middle blocker for the Columbus Fury, and someone with a very big date circled on the calendar because on May 30th, she's officially trading the jersey in for a wedding dress. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the All-Star and bride-to-be, Reagan Pittman Nelson.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome. We're so excited to have you on the podcast.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Now, I know that you're already officially legally married,
Yes.
but you're still doing this awesome celebration on May 30th for friends, family,
Yeah.
Earl, I'm hoping. But how are the wedding plannings go? Because it's only a few months away.
You know, I have a great wedding planner. I am very ADHD, so planning a wedding is not my specialty. But that's why I have my best friend, Krista. I was her maid of honor. And she's the organizing type. I'm the boss people around day of type.
Perfect.
And like the tragedy fixer. And she is the planner and the type A friend. So she has been wonderful by my side. Same with Luke's sister and my wedding planner. So it honestly hasn't been too stressful. We also aren't having like this big, huge wedding. It's definitely just going to be something simple. And, you know, my dad really wanted to walk me down the aisle and just represent Luke and I's love for each other in our new chapters in our lives.
That's so sweet. One, it's like a perfect bridesmaid or it's perfect maid of honor to have.
Yes.
But wait, tell me about Luke. How did you guys meet?
So we actually met at volleyball. And I don't know if the stories would be different if he told it versus if I told it. But we were playing adult volleyball, and we needed another middle on our team. I was setting, and this was when I was in retirement, before I came out of retirement for this league. And I was like just talking to him, and I'm gonna be honest, I thought he was in high school because of all the friends he hung around were either super young 20s or barely into their 19s. And so once I learned he was a senior in college, I was like, oh, okay. And so then I was asking him, I'm like, does he play volleyball? He played in college. I just asked him all these personal questions. And then I was like, well, I run a business, and if you ever like want to come work for me, that'd be great, blah, blah, blah. And then at the end of the night, I definitely was flirting with him all night, but he did not think so, apparently. I said,
Oh,
do you want my personal phone number or my business phone number? And he goes, business is fine. I said, well, I'm going to give you my personal.
did he get the hint then?
No. I still texted him at the end of the night saying, hey, I'm forward. I would love to go get a drink with you. So, and then
Sometimes you just got to spell it out for them. I mean,
right after that, I put the ball in his court and I have not had to plan a date or touch anything since. So it's been wonderful.
That's amazing. And it like works perfectly with your wedding planning also, because is he helping out with your friend to help plan since you're playing? And
he, yes and no, but honestly, like our wedding planner, she's on it. She's doing her thing. She was a planner for a facility for like 20 years and she's wanting to get into wedding planning. So she's killing it. So I'm just letting her do her thing.
that's awesome. Yeah. I saw, I am not going to lie, while I was researching you, I came across your website for the wedding and I saw that, you said you're allowed to wear jeans, which I think is amazing. Yeah. And that if they want to dress theme, it's country wildflowers, which that's like a Met Gala theme in my mind, like country wildflowers. But like, where did this idea come from? And like, I can obviously tell that you are a super chill person, which is why the jeans like fits in. But where did the country wildflowers come in?
I grew up in Kansas and I'm all about individualism and I've always loved nature. And also I love seeing men in cowboy hats and like, I would love to see my dad and my husband and his dad in cowboy hats. Like, I just think they look so handsome. And so being from Kansas, I think that definitely had a inspiration to that. But honestly, I just really want my dad to wear a cowboy hat walking me down the aisle. We had my aunt's wedding a couple years ago and he just looked so good. And I was like, you know what? We're going Western and wildflower. And yeah.
Oh, I'm dying to see the pictures once it happens. It sounds so sweet. So is the wedding in Kansas?
No, it's actually in Minnesota. We thought it'd be easier to do it in Minnesota. And we kind of both have family in different areas, but most of my family lives in Kansas. So it's about a 7-hour drive. A lot of our friends and family that we want to come live in Minnesota.
Sorry, I just had a friend. This is Ziggy.
Hi, Ziggy.
He's a little kitty. He's so cute. Wait, how old is he now, Tib?
He's about 6.5 months, which is why he's everywhere. Yeah, we have two. We have Ziggy and Misty. Misty's a little younger, not from the same litter, obviously. And because of that, they fight a lot. And so I'm dealing with some just crazy kitten chaos. Right, bud? Yeah. Anyway. So wait, growing up in Kansas, now I had watched an interview that you did with Big Ten Network. I think it was 4 years ago. And you talked about how without volleyball, you wouldn't have really found a group to tie yourself to.
For sure, I was an outcast for so long. I just felt like I wasn't able to find my group because, I'm always trying to find something new and I'm always searching to find new people. And like, not everyone is intrigued in, the things that I'm intrigued in, like knitting and crocheting and spinning yarn. Like I have a lot of hobbies that grandmas love me. They love me, but not so much people around my age. But everywhere I've gone with the PVF, I've taught at least one or two teammates to knit or crochet and they've like kept up with it.
I love that. Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you what you were like as a kid growing up in Kansas and how you actually found volleyball to begin with.
So my mom actually, my mom's very athletic, but she grew up in the middle of nowhere, Western Kansas, where like she had opportunities to play sports, but she didn't have like crazy amount of opportunities just because it's a different time back then. But she was very, very athletic. And so she played volleyball in college at a JUCO college, and she's going to try out at K-State, but she ended up twisting her ankle.
Oh, no.
So my mom has always been really interested in volleyball. And so she put me in it when I was like 5th grade. And I was like, Mom, I don't like this sport. Like, I want to play, I like playing basketball because of the blood and things. Like, I was like, okay. And so she ended up enrolling me in volleyball in 8th grade again. And I just have loved it ever since.
What was it that made you stick with it this time?
I think because I got to hit the ball really hard at people's faces, but
I feel like by
That's a great
8th grade,
reason.
you must have been pretty tall, right?
Yeah.
So
I was the same height as my mom, and she's about 5'8" to 5'10". I can't really remember anymore because now it's just short to me, but
that's amazing. So, okay. So 8th grade, you start playing. What happened between like 8th grade and then being recruited for Minnesota? You were just, did something click? You're like, I'm actually really good at this and I want to be doing this. How did that whole process go?
well, my freshman year going into St. Thomas Aquinas, which is known as like a volleyball private school in Kansas. I told the varsity head coach that I was going to make the Olympics as a freshman. And she was like, okay, go for it. Well, I ended up making JV that year. And then the head coach at the time, Mrs. Bogart, Coach Bogart, she got me over to her club, to a different club because she saw something in me, I think. 2 coaches from KC Power came and watched me play, and I always give them crap about this to this day, but one of them wanted me and one of them didn't. And I always give crap to the one who didn't want me because he was my coach until 17th year. And I was like, biggest regret. But they both ended up taking me on KC Power. And that's actually where I met a lot of my close friends to this day. Like the whole group of the KC Power girls from my age, we kind of played between 9th grade to 12th grade together. Some of them played a little earlier than that together, but the core group of us was like 9th to junior year. And so like I still talk to those girls every day. But kind of between that process of like getting to St. Thomas Aquinas and then getting seen as an athlete and then people just putting me in the places that I needed to be, both physically to get better and mentally.
I mean, KC, at least, with that Triple Crown tournament, it's like a powerhouse location for girls volleyball. So what was it like growing up over there?
So just in my class, we had Ellie Sambothy, Lexi Hart, Jenna Gray, Adriana Fitzmaurice.
Oh, my God.
Ori, I don't want to butcher her last name, Ori Abaju. She played at Texas.
Oh, yeah.
I believe I'm saying Abaju correct, but Tess Reed, which was my setter, she played at LMU. Jenna Gray. I don't know if I said Jenna yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Oh, there's more.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, seriously. What a roster right there.
Like, that's just in my class of graduating, and there was like 5 or 10 more in that class that I can think of, but crazy talent when I was there. So, I mean, I've been playing against Jenna Gray and Adriana Fitzmaurice since sophomore year in high school, and we've been battling back and forth for championships between like state championships to Final Fours. It's kind of crazy.
That's so
cool.
fun, though. It is such a small world at the end of the day at this level.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you go to Minnesota. You become a 3-time All-American, total powerhouse.
Yes.
What was that experience like? And did you know, I mean, at the time you were in college, there was no MLV or Love, right? So did you think you wanted to go pro? I know you said you retired. What was your feeling during college then? Like what your next step would be?
Yeah, I think I definitely was like getting to the point where I was like, okay, I'm ready to live like quote unquote normal life. And then COVID kind of happened. So it put everything on hold, and it just kind of pushed everything back. And I think it just really burnt me out. And I think I was so burnt out that when I got the break of COVID, I was like, holy moly, I'm free. Like everyone did. And it's not like free because I loved Minnesota. I had great teammates, great coaches, great supporting staff. Looking back at it, like so blessed, so lucky. I had a great experience with my college team. But I just was really burnt out, and it's hard because I feel like I have the heart and the mindset of an artist, but the body of an athlete. And so for me, like that free flowing artistic vibe, like that's just very much me. And it makes it really hard to follow schedules to like the rigor of sports. And then just like the taking care of your body. Like for me being an artist, like I'm the one that will sit on the floor for 7 hours and break my back to do an art project. So I think I just burnt myself out and I wasn't giving myself enough time to have balance between both.
I think that's so beautifully said, just describing yourself, and the two sides that everyone has, but for you especially, like, you look at you and you're a professional athlete. Okay, you have the body of a professional athlete, but there's this whole other side of you. And it sounds like now you're able to tap into that. So I guess, so what happened next? You were retired, and did that love come back, or how did you find that balance? What happened next?
So I ended up retiring, and then I started my business, Tall Volleyball Academy. And I really thought it was going to just be one summer, get some cash, like before I go into the grown-up world. But it actually ended up like taking off, and it became my full-time job for 3 years. And then I was doing a speaking event at the AVCA Phenon program, and Jen Spiker approached me. She's like, Reagan Pittman. And I go, what? And Luke, my husband, was sitting next to me, and she goes, who's this with you? I said, oh, this was Luke, my boyfriend. And we were like fresh, like 6 months into dating at that point. And she called him Dimples.
Oh,
and so every time she always asked about Dimples, because he's got these big, cute little dimples, and he's just such a smiley guy. But she approached me, and she was like really trying to convince me to come out and play. And then, she invited me to go to like this big dinner drinks thing with like a bunch of the owners and stuff to like talk about the league, so on and so forth. So I ended up going, and then I was like, okay, I guess you can throw my name in there. And at this point I was like so out of shape, and I was like, all right, I'll throw my name in there. Like, Todd Dajane reached out to me in, I think, May or June, saying I was on his short list. And then after that, I didn't hear anything from him. And then before you know it, in October, I believe, he called me and was like, hey, we're going to go ahead and sign you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, I am so out of shape.
It's happening.
I am so out of shape. And so I started training with one of my old teammates' dads, and he kicked my butt. But man, has he got me back to probably the best shape I've ever been in my life. Like, I think I was 235, 240 going to Atlanta. And now I'm right around 200 after like 3 years. And so that journey was crazy, but that's kind of how that all went down. And then it just kind of went from like one thing to another, with signing with Atlanta, and then signing with San Diego, and now then end up being here with the Columbus Fury.
That's so cool. I mean, I feel like you have such an interesting journey, because like you did take that break. A lot of the players that we've talked to, knew like their goal was to play professionally. And before the leagues began, their plan was to go overseas, right? But I mean, when you were in college, like especially your 2019 team, right? You had Stephanie Samity, you had CeCe McGraw, Alexis Hart, like you had some amazing players. You guys went to the Final Four, or I guess the semifinals. I guess you can't say Final Four for college volleyball. But I mean, were you still in that mindset of, I don't want to really continue playing after? Or were you thinking you did want to play just because I feel like your team all seemed to want to keep going? So I was a redshirt junior of 2019. Spring of 21, that's when I like ended up graduating. So I was playing in that weird COVID season. And like, yeah, I thought about playing, but I think I had other things on my mind than just playing volleyball. I mean, I think if I didn't end up doing volleyball, I would have absolutely taken over the fashion and design world. But it just didn't work with my schedule for volleyball. So I think if I wouldn't have done that, like I would have taken other things. So I just had like other things on my brain than volleyball.
Wait, tell me more about the fashion and design world. What, as an artist, but what did you have in mind? Were you going to be a designer, artist?
Yeah, so I wanted to be a designer. So I actually sew a lot of my own clothes and like knit a lot of my own clothes because I'm so tall and I've been doing it since I was like, I just turned 28 a couple days ago, and I like turned to my teammate Ashley Evans because I've been teaching her how to knit. So it's been like a fun little journey for her. to watch her like learn how to knit and see all the stresses and then all the fun of like going to the yarn store for the first time. But I have been sewing and knitting since I was 10 years old. And
Wow. Amazing.
And so I actually ended up making like my own prom dress for high school. Yeah. And then
So cool.
Yeah, during COVID, I actually launched a business called Designs by Lucille, which Lucille is my great-grandma's name. Her name was Lucille O'Neill, and my middle name is O'Neill, so I thought I'd call it that. But I actually launched a custom business where I just made like tall things for ladies, and it like sold out with my opening thing, but that was during COVID. And so after that, I haven't really picked it back up, but I've thought about it recently.
I saw you did a collab though recently. You helped design. So was it Pursuit? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
So you still got the
You're
chops
such an
going.
entrepreneur. I love
know.
it. You're like, I'm good
Yeah.
at this. Let's start a business.
Yeah. I have a lot of like, if I showed you my house right now, like back there is my yarn collection. And then that's my
That's so cool.
knitting machine from the 1960s. And then I have my sewing machine down there.
Is it a Singer?
Brother.
Not like the old school sewing machines, the Singers.
They're both brothers. No, I have a knitting machine.
Oh, a knitting machine.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Me neither.
So I can like slide it back and forth and make like huge panels of knit. I can make sweaters. I can make all the
That's
things.
cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. My sister taught me to knit when she had just graduated college. So I was in high school at the time. I think I was probably 14 maybe. And she taught me to knit. And I thought it was the coolest thing. And I learned how to do like the crossover cable knit thing. But all I could do was scarves. Anytime I tried to expand past a scarf, I failed miserably. So I ended up giving it up. I feel like I need lessons from you.
I'm still at the scarf stage too. My best friend taught me during COVID. I did like embroidery, knitting, painting, everything. It was fun.
Get back into it.
Now you're inspiring me to get
I
back
know.
into it.
It's really great for people who don't do well regulating their nervous systems outside of their home space. Like it's just such a grounder of where you're at in the world versus like getting up in your head and thinking about all the things that could be what if. For me, it really is my grounder, my meditation, like what makes me stay where my shoes are.
So like speaking of that, like you're on the court. You've played at Minnesota. You've now been on 3 different professional leagues or professional teams. I imagine the pressure is high. You're at such a high level of play. You're, as the number 1 blocker, like how do you manage those emotions when you're playing at such a high level? Like how do you meditate? What's your mental health when you make a mistake? Like it's so, I've asked a lot of the players this because there's so many younger players also that want to know, like, how do you manage that kind of pressure internally when it's happening?
I think especially within the last years, I've really turned to God. Like I grew up Catholic, and that just wasn't the best environment for me to learn about God. But my husband has brought me really close to God, and I think like just going back to, I'm here for a reason, and like, what's the worst that's going to happen? I'm going to have a bad game. I get pulled, and my teammate who's just as good as I am is going to get put in the game and have a great game. Like, what? The world's not going to end because I had one bad volleyball match. Like, in the professional world, I think it's especially different because you have a group of people surrounding you who probably are just as good as you, if not better, at what they do. And like, we're all people, we're going to have off days, and that includes being in the professional world and in the athleticism world. You're still a huge part of the team, and instead of shutting down when you have a bad game, like lift your teammates up and make them play better.
I love that. That's a great mentality.
I love that. I mean, especially it's like such a team sport, it's not always about you. You really do need everyone around you to play so well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's funny. Lindsay and I just play adult rec, just, for fun. But I haven't been able to play the past few weeks. Just injuries, or my husband had he had surgery, I got sick and everything, dang husbands, right?
Ruining it for us,
But like when I did get to play, like there was one week, I just like flipped a switch because we were losing all the time and it wasn't fun. And then one day I was just like, you know what? Just be thankful, guys. Like we're old and we're still, putting our shoes on and coming out here. Okay. Both of our teammates, we're on separate teams, but our teammates are like in their 20s, and I'm turning 40.
We're older than our 20s. It's okay.
Yeah. I'm proud to say I'm almost 40 and still playing volleyball out there. Samantha?
Do you know Samantha from Sex and the City? Are you trying to say you're 35 forever?
Yeah.
Oh, no, especially with volleyball. I'm like, I'm almost 40, bitches. I can still swing. But I remember going to my teammates. I'm like, guys, just be thankful that we're out here. And all of them were like, what? I was like, be thankful. Like, not everyone gets to go out on the court every Wednesday and play volleyball. Like, this is pretty cool. And then they still sometimes look at me crazy, but I'm like, I'm loving this idea, this new mentality that I'm putting out in the world to like get me to keep playing.
Yeah.
So Reagan, like as you've gone, so now you're considered a veteran, right? Like I think even on your bio on MLV, it's like, Columbus, like we're excited to have veteran Reagan Pittman Nelson joining our team. Like, what does that feel like? How do you think you've changed since like your first year at Minnesota to now, whether it's like mentally, emotionally, or just like your physical game?
I have changed so much. Like I was so tightly strung from like college until my first year and a half to 2 years a professional. Like I had a mentor, Cassandra. She was our strength coach from San Diego, and she kind of just took me under her wing and she was like, bro, you are stressing yourself out for no reason. And so she's really been a huge grounding person for me, and she kind of has helped reinvent my mind state, and then just like calming my nervous system and being in the moment and being present and just being grateful for what I have had given to me. Not every athlete can take 3 years off of playing women's sixes and then jump back in like nothing happened. I mean, my body definitely felt like something happened after that first week of training camp. But, I jumped back in. I jumped into a new position at Atlanta on right side. And after that, like, it just kind of was like, all right, I guess we're going. But she really has helped me realize how lucky and blessed I am. And, I'm not as anxious as I was. I'm much calmer. I'm not as like tight about things. Like, for example, it would really bother me if I was like 1 minute late, like off of like getting to practice 30 minutes early. Like, it'd really bother me. Or like when a teammate doesn't do it, like it would really, really bother me. And I'm like, all right, nervous system, calm down. Like, this is not the end of the world. Like, you're so lucky to be here. Be you, be present, and just focus on you.
I think we can all take that advice
really well. I was like, that's great mentality.
Remind me to take a deep breath.
Yeah.
And well, now that you're in the pros, I mean, your schedule is still demanding as a professional athlete, but it's a lot less demanding from when you were in college and having to do academics and stuff. But when you were in college, let me make sure I have this correct. So when you were in Minnesota, you got your master's degree in youth development leadership and a recreation administration undergraduate degree.
Yes.
So I know, I mean, you're doing the Tall Volleyball Academy, you're working with the youth in that regard, but is your plan to like be a Parks and Rec coordinator someday and like work with towns and youth and build these awesome communities and stuff like that?
No. So, I actually started hair school this past summer. I've always wanted to be
such an artist.
Cool. I love being a hairstylist. It's like one of my favorite things. If anyone needs a cut and a color after I pass my boards, I got you.
Well, I wanted to ask about your hair because it's always amazing. Like your clips in right now, like your hairstyles when you play. I love it. So that doesn't surprise me that you said that.
Yeah. Yeah, like I love like going to hair school. Like, I think it healed everything in me that I needed. And the school I went to, which is the Atelier of Hopkins, like I had so many amazing teachers there and I learned so much. And then they kind of trained like me to trust my artist eye, but they just showed me the techniques to trust my artist eye. And so I really, truly believe that's like my natural given talent is to be a hairstylist and like take all this information that I've developed in these short, I don't know, like 10 years of my life of playing volleyball, because it really does make you learn a lot of lessons a lot faster than like working in a normal environment, like just very different lessons. And so I think it really prepared me to be behind the chair and just make people feel beautiful and loved in their own skin and like feel that they have someone who's more than just a hairstylist, but someone who like genuinely cares about their life, because I do. Like I miss all my clients so much. I think I get a text once a week. Like I have all these little old ladies who would come to my hair school and they would love me because I would just chat with them. And they, like, I think they text me like once or twice a week, like, we miss you so much. I'm like, I know, I'll be back soon.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, they're so cute.
Oh, I love this. Like I said, you're so fascinating and cool and artistic and grounded. Like I love like your aura and everything that you bring. It's just,
Thank you.
awesome. It's awesome.
That's why I'm so glad we're doing this podcast, because we never know so many of the stuff, and like we can see your stats online, but that doesn't tell the whole story of who you are. It's so great. It's so great to know this.
Yeah, people like they like see me on the court and they know that I like have a few quirks just with how I do my hair, how I celebrate. Like I'm so quirky with fans, but a lot of people like they don't really know me because I don't really show my art off online. It's kind of like, not that I think I would love to sell my artwork and like make it my full-time job, but I haven't done it yet just because, you know, it's just been for me and my family and friends and just like for people to enjoy. But at some point, I definitely want to get into like selling my knitwear and things like that and like sewing and stuff. But when people start to get to know me off the court, they're like, holy moly, dude, you do a lot of things. I'm like, yeah, ADHD will do that to you.
So it's a lot of talents.
A lot of talent. Well, with everything that you're doing and now you being in hair school, like, MLV just announced this Minnesota team. You've now played 3 years in the league, probably longer than you thought you would, considering you retired for a period of time. Do you think that you want to keep playing, potentially go to Minnesota so you're kind of back in that area? Or how long do you think you want to keep playing for with all of these awesome other side quests and awesome passions that you're doing?
I actually originally wasn't going. This like San Diego was going to be my last year just because I was tired of it. I was tired of living away from my husband. I was tired of living away from like I have this little awesome community. I was tired of living away from it. And Angel made me an offer like that I couldn't resist with this team and so many amazing opportunities for me to come to Columbus. So I actually wasn't going to play, but I ended up playing this year and I'm happy that I did. I don't know about next year yet. It just kind of depends on where my heart is, but I think I've been given all the signs that, you know, my heart wants to be in the art world all the time. But sometimes my ego can't let go of that RPN on the court. And so I just want to go where my heart wants to go. And I don't know where that is yet, whether that's playing at Minnesota or playing like in a different team or just continuing with hair school and then starting my journey with career with hair and stuff. So we'll see. I don't know yet.
Ooh, I like a cliffhanger.
I was like, well, like my rec team needs a middle blocker. So, you know, if you retire, well, you'll be highly recruited.
Yes.
Should we do the side out sprint, Tiff?
Yes. But before we do, we need to ask about MLV All-Star.
Oh, yes, of course.
I've been so fascinated about like your life and journey that I feel like we missed one of the big headlines, which is, you made the All-Star team. What went through your mind when you heard your name called?
Yeah, I had this dream actually a while back, which was kind of crazy, like the summer of this. So the reason why I did the name Pittman Nelson is only for our future kids to be able to see that there was a jersey with both my name on it and their dad's last name on it.
Aww.
And so I had this dream that I was going to have a white All-Star jersey. And I just think it's kind of funny how I ended up being on the All-Star team and then wearing a white jersey. And so like, that's the jersey I'm going to like hang up on my wall to remember my career by. But just like really honored, excited. And, you know, I couldn't have done it without the people around me this year. Like I've had great teammates and like the coaches have been great. And so just really excitement and just truly honored to be able to represent the league after being on such a journey from the past 2 years before me. So just really, really honored.
It's going to be a nice jersey to have up on your wall.
Wait, so tell me, who are you excited to play with or play against? Like, do you have another friend on the team or someone you've always wanted to play with?
So it's actually kind of fun. I get to play with my 2 liberos that I've gotten to play with over the past 2 years, which is Morgan Hintz and then Shara. So I get to play with them. And then I was really excited to play with some other people, other middles, but then they ended up with injuries. So
I know.
I know. So sad.
It was so sad.
It's so hard to see that.
I know. So I was really excited to get to play with them and against them. But, you know, I think honestly, I'm just excited to play with the best of the league. And, you know, I'm going to repeat what Madison Skinner said. I think if we put together an MLV All-Star team and a Love All-Star team, I think it'd be pretty fun to like see that crossover and watch that competitiveness, because each league is like different in its talents. And so, you know, I just would love to see, like, that would be just so fun. Just
yes,
we would all love to see that.
We've been saying that we, you know, I mean, I know the talk of merge and all that stuff is like on all the fans' minds, but I would love to see an all-star game.
Yeah,
That'd
I
just
think
be
it
so
would
fun.
be really fun. And like, I think it would get so competitive because it's just like the battle of the leagues and the, but at the end of the day, you know, everyone anyone you play against or have been teammates with, you like get angry, not angry at, but you're like competitive with them in the moment. And then after the game, you're like, oh my God, hi. You know, like so much love. It kind of goes from being in your gut and anger stage to like then going up into your heart chakra and be like, hey dude, what's up? So yeah,
Like that's the best part of playing with and against your friends.
Yeah. I'm excited to play with the setter from Indy, Mia.
Oh,
she's fiery. I'm so excited to see her play.
And I just think like the way she sets is like, I think she's going to give me a lot of balls that are going to be in my window that are just going to be like absolute butter. So cannot wait.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. We're gonna, I mean, Lindsay and I are going All-Star, so we're gonna ask you a few questions after the game, see how it goes, and we can get a fun little like postscript to this interview, which we'll tack on the end after we go through everything. But now do you want to do side out sprint?
Yes.
Okay, so Reagan, so we do this thing called the side out sprint where we just ask a few questions that kind of elicit quick answers back, right? So either one word or just kind of like top of mind questions. And they're fun, they're lighthearted, very simple. You ready?
All right.
Must have item in your bag that's not volleyball related.
Yarn.
Yes.
What's more fun, a stuff block or a slide kill?
Oh, stuff block.
That's why you're the block leader.
You have a lot of them.
One thing every middle blocker should know that they don't teach you in high school.
How to set and pass.
What is the most used app on your phone?
Netflix.
Nice. Wait, what are you watching right now?
Sex in the City, man.
No wonder there's the Samantha. You know, can I tell you, I've never seen that show.
What?
I know.
And I know. Rewatch.
I know. And I was actually interning at HBO Sports, not the TV, but I was interning there during like peak HBO, like Sopranos, Sex and the City.
You gotta watch it. It's like, it's a good show. It'll remind, I mean, I'm not in my 30s and my 40s, but like, I don't know. It's pretty fun. Pretty funny.
I'll get to it. I promise I'll get to it because I feel like it's one of the shows I need to watch.
For sure.
All right. What is your go-to pump-up song?
I have ADHD. It changes all the time.
Fair.
Flavor of the month.
Tell me like what genre or multiple genres.
Hip hop or pop for Pump Up.
Minneapolis food spot you miss the most?
Anywhere with my husband. Well, not anywhere, but honestly anywhere with my husband. But there's a place called the Turtle Bread, and we'd always go there and do things. So love that place. So good. Soups, breads, all the things.
Your favorite location to knit?
My house.
Any more tattoos planned?
Yeah. In April.
Do you want
keep it a secret?
Reveal what you're going to get, or will be surprised?
Good thing my grandpa will just see it at the wedding and not hear it on the podcast. But I'm going to finish up the coloring here, hopefully. And then actually I have a tattoo down my spine that says Stand Tall. And then it's going to kind of look like fairy wings. And then the fairy wings are going to have like moments of like fraying, but they're going to like still be built. So it's like you can knock me down and like destroy my wings, but I'll always be flying kind of reference.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful.
So thoughtful. My goodness.
And then hopefully at some point I can get a little Western Earl, which...
oh my God,
cute.
yes.
Yeah.
So cute.
One of my bridesmaids, Tess, she was one of my teammates on my high school team, and she's a graphic designer. So she made all my logoing for my business. So this is
I love
awesome.
it.
One of them.
I love that.
Minnesota coffee shop that we're giggling for 4 hours. Design. So stupid.
It's so adorable. I love that. Your go-to order at a coffee shop?
Iced lavender latte if it's summer, or like over 60 hot lavender latte, but it's got to have good microfoam in it to count as a latte. And I want to go to a real coffee shop, not a Starbucks, not a Caribou, a real coffee shop where they make real drinks.
Yeah. Good coffee.
Yeah, good coffee. It's very important.
Okay, and our very last one. Is there a reality show you would actually love to go on?
I think I would do really well on WWE.
Oh.
If anyone from WWE is hearing this, I do have a background in wrestling, and I also grew up with my babysitter being a heavyweight wrestler and my brother. So, WWE, hit me up.
You are a lady of so many skills. I'm so impressed.
I want to. Can we elaborate real quick? What background in wrestling? What does that mean?
So I wrestled from like 3rd grade to 5th grade.
That is so awesome. Oh my gosh, you are I'm idolizing you. You have just jumped to the top of my list of favorite people of all time. Oh my gosh.
Thank you. But my brother, so my babysitter, his name was Austin Ham. And I think he babysat us from like when we were 8 to like 8 years old to I was probably like 13 when we stopped. But he was a heavyweight wrestler. Now he actually competes in strongman competitions.
Wow.
And my brother was also a wrestler. So we used to like do wrestling moves all the time. So I just like, people never know it, but like if anyone were to come at me, I'm like, I'm just waiting for my time to let shit fly. So like
I'm waiting for my moment.
I'm waiting for my moment for someone to pop up at a gas station. Like I'm gas station ready, as our strength coach here in Columbus would say, like waiting for my moment. But yeah, I wrestled for 2 years in elementary school and it was so fun. But I also did like martial arts and karate. Like my parents found it very important that I knew how to protect myself if anything were to happen.
Smart.
And, you know, no one really wants to mess with a 6'4" beast. So, like, I haven't had my moment yet, but when it does come, I will take full advantage of it.
Out. Oh my gosh, Reagan, it has been such a pleasure speaking with you. We've taken up so much of your time, but like just learning your story and everything that you do on the court, off the court, your mentality, everything about you is just amazing. And I'm so happy that we got to spend this time and learn about you.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank you so much. And we're excited. We'll see you in Orlando in a couple of days. We're so excited.
Yes. And we'll follow up this interview with as like what the kids say, 3 days later. And we will jump into Orlando.
That's a SpongeBob reference.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
I was like, just making sure you knew that. I know there's a little bit of an age gap. So I just wanted to
Thank you.
Yes,
thank you. Well, thanks again, Reagan.
Yes, thank you guys so much.
3 days later.
We're doing a video.
Oh, we're doing a video.
Oh gosh.
I had a great time, but nothing beats seeing my husband up in the stands cheering me on.
I saw at the very beginning you threw the ball, the mini volleyball to your husband.
Of course.
You just saw him out there.
I was looking for him and he was nowhere to be seen. And then right before I went to throw the ball, I found him and I was like, all right. So, of course, I had to give it to my husband. Who else?
That'll be going up on the mantle for sure.
Did you see his sign?
Yes, of course. And I do the dishes, by the way. He does not. I do the dishes.
Like something from the weekend that you just
Playing with the best and just having fun. No pressure.
Nice. And overall, what did it feel like to be an all-star playing with the
It's an honor. Always an honor. Never expected, always an honor.